Hello everyone, remember this? Citizencon 2023.
And I've sort of seen some online comments about, okay, well that's very cool, but when are we going to get it in the game? But one of the real reasons why we wanted to show you this Citizencon is because we've hit an inflection point on a lot of the features, as in they're either finished or they're in polishing stage, which is why we're showing them. So everything that we've been showing you here at Citizencon is our intention, not making 100% promise, just so everyone remembers that, to get them into Star Citizen through next year. So it's not going to be gated on having to be after Squadron 42. So we're planning over the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 of next year. Hopefully everything that we've shown you, you will have in your hands playing inside Star Citizen.
Chris, Citizencon 2023, we hit an inflection point on a lot of the features. They're either finished or in polishing state. Everything we showed you at Citizencon 2023, it's our intention to get them into Star Citizen in 2024. Of course, Chris also said, I'm not making a 100% promise, but what is your word worth, Chris? If you're making lots of promises, and next sentence is, I don't make a 100% promise, I can end the video here and say, yeah, Chris never promised anything. No, Chris very clearly promised a lot of things, so let's take a look. And here we have the list. Some items might not be that important, maybe I missed some items, and some items are very important, but I can only give 0 to 1 point. Yeah, I have to live with some limitations. If an item is in a game, I give 1 point. If it's in a game but kinda meh, I give 0.5 points. If it's not in a game, I give 0 points. 3D minimap, which can be downloaded to movie class, not in the game. 4.0, summer 2024 release with Pyro. I'm very generous. I'm very nice to CRG, so I give a kinda, because it's kinda in the game now, in the tech preview, so 0.5 points. AI Cockpit improvements. Right now, on the 4.0 tech preview, AI is actually quite good, unless you are on a very bad server, so I give 1 full point. Atmospheric flight model, not in a game yet, 0 points. Audio improvements, ship guns, engines, etc. No, not in a game yet. I played hundreds of games. Most games have decent to good audio design. Recently I played Stalker 2, which has a very good audio design, very immersive. And then we have Star Citizen in year 13, where ship guns sound like sheep, children, alien toy pistols. For example, tarantulas before 3.0 had a very deep bass sound, which fits because tarantulas are ballistic cannons. Nowadays tarantulas sound really, really bad. Same with small arms fire sound, Gatling guns, etc. etc. CRG really have to work on your sound design. Interestingly, Citizencon 2023, CRG showed us much improved chip sounds. I don't want to be mean. I am really wondering, was this for real or was this just made for Citizencon 2023? Base building, not in a game, 0 points. Cloud improvements, yes, there are some improvements, 1 point. Cockpit relaxed state interaction with buttons, no. I'm not talking about that you can use your mouse to click on buttons. This is in the game for a long time. I'm talking about that you are really using those buttons, like for example in DCS, but right now you cannot because buttons are overlapping with totally different things. For example, you want to change your screens, but instead you are powering off your ship. At Citizencon 2023, CRG showed startup of Gladius, where the player was hitting certain buttons in a certain order. Control surfaces for atmospheric flight? Nope. And this would require some basic physics, which Star Citizen in year 13 still doesn't have. Data running? Not in a game yet. Default item interactions? Yes, kinda, so I give half a point. But item interaction in Star Citizen is one of the worst I've ever seen in any game. Again, I played hundreds of games. Usually it's very easy to pick up items, to discard items, to remove items from the inventory. And then we have Star Citizen where every single thing, like equipping your character and so on, is a tedious and slow chore. Destructible environments, not in the game. Distribution centers, kinda, half a point. Why only half a point? Because all distribution centers look alike. They are just copy and pasted all over planets. They are just out there, nothing nearby. There's no reason to have distribution centers at those locations, and lower levels are still not in the game. Dynamic sweat, tears and blood, not in the game. Engineering, not in the game. Of course, I'm not talking about that a few ships have now fuses. This is not engineering. Engineering gameplay goes way deeper. EVA updates, zero G movement, yes, full point. I'm not a fan that we are looking like Iron Man when we are on EVA, but this EVA movement is very easy to use, very precise, very good, much better than the old face planting. Fauna on ground, yes, we have now Copians and space cows. Fauna flying, yes, we have now Mercs. Fire gameplay, not in the game. Fire simulation, not in the game. FPS combat improvements, kinda, half a point. There are some improvements, but overall FPS combat in Star Citizen still doesn't feel right. Weapon handling doesn't feel right. Scopes don't feel right, so only half a point. FPS HUD and UI, kinda, half a point. Why only half a point? Because this new UI isn't exactly decent. Ghosting text, ghosting icons, transparent background with lights shining through, holographic design. Someone wanted to make a very cool looking movie UI, but this someone doesn't care about functionality, usability and being user friendly. FPS repair gameplay, just not a beam, kinda, in the game. Half a point. Why only half a point? Because there's still a lot of work to do with this. First person scanning radar ping, not in the game. Ground fog follows terrain, not in the game. Inner Fort updates, kinda, half a point. Why only half a point? Because UI in Star Citizen in 2024 actually got way worse. Chris, please play any normal game. I know you played Valheim. Just look how other games are doing UIs and learn from this. Or please hire someone who has a good understanding how to make functional, user-friendly UIs. And please don't use UIs from movies like, for example, Iron Man. Those movie UIs look fantastic on screen, but they are not user-friendly, they are not easy to use, they are terrible for a game. Kiosk and terminal updates, no. I really wish that CRG would work on updates to ASAP if you have a lot of ships. Yeah, this is my own problem, I was stupid, but if you have a lot of ships, you have to do a lot of scrolling. There are no favorites, there's nothing you can sort your ships by. For example, fighter, cargo hauler, etc. Looting screen update, kinda, half a point. Yes, we got new looting screens, but once again, item manipulation in Star Citizen is one of the worst I've ever seen in any game. In 99% of games, item manipulation, picking up items, equipping items, looting items is quick and painless. In Star Citizen in year 13, it's still terrible, slow and tedious, and this gets you killed in combat. Maelstrom, not in the game. Master modes, kinda, half a point, because it's not finished yet. Yeah, even now in year 13, CRG still hasn't even finished the flight model. Master modes, which came in 3.23, is one of the reasons why so many people stopped playing Star Citizen. Master modes is arcadey and gamey, it's not fun, it is slow, we are now trapped in combat, which quite often is just a DPS race. Master modes does not eliminate jousting, and the next version of master modes will be even worse. We are losing nav speeds. Mobi class improvements, kinda, half a point. I'm very generous here because the new UI is absolutely terrible. Ghosting text, ghosting icons, chromatic aberration. It is terrible to use. This is not a functional, user-friendly UI, Chris. New character customizer, and yes, we can save our characters. 1 full point. New character heads, 1 full point. New hair types, 1 full point. New ship HUD, kinda, half a point, very generous, because the new ship HUD is actually worse than what we had before. Important information is not in our view anymore, and things like scanning are absolutely terrible now. If you were scanning with the previous HUD, you could see all the scan results at one glance on your HUD. Now, scanning results are on MFD, you have to scroll a lot. Yeah, good luck using scanning in combat. New loot screens, kinda, half a point. Again, looting items is painless in most games, not so much in Star Citizen in year 13. Please, Chris, play other games. Play Stalker 2, play Fallout 4, play Tarkov, whatever, play other games and see how easy it is to pick items, to equip items. Most games are using a paper doll for a very good reason. It's very easy to see at one glance what items you have equipped and what items are missing. New quantum travel effects, yes, in the game. New settlements with local missions, yes, we have new settlements in Pyro. Only half a point because we still need interesting local missions. New star map, kinda half a point. Why only half a point? Because the new star map is actually worse than the one we had before. Yes, in a new star map we can now search for locations, which is very nice, but you cannot sort by distance. For example, you are at the moon, you are looking for Shubin, you are getting shown all Shubins all over the system, and in the old star map you could click on a location, you could zoom in, and the star map zoomed in where your cursor is at this moment. In new star map you cannot zoom in where your cursor is. So you have to zoom in, move the map, zoom in, move the map, zoom in, move the map. This is terrible. New water simulation, yes in the game, 1 full point. Not perfect yet, but again I'm very generous. Path routing with pins, finding a location, kinda, half a point. Persistent personal hangars with freight elevators, yes, 1 full point. Again, very generous. There are still countless issues with personal hangars. For example, some people have no access to their personal hangar. Has happened to me too because of a bug. Personal hangars are not really persistent. If you put down items, you are leaving the game, you're coming back, items are all over the place. Freight elevators are still buggy and we still cannot spawn vehicles on freight elevators. Personal hygiene, not in the game, 0 points. I'm very happy about this. No one needs this, Chris. This is just boring in a game. In real life, I shower at least once per day. If you would have to shower once every 24 hours in Star Citizen, it would be pointless. So CRG will overdo it, like they have overdone it with Hunger and Thirst. I guess our player characters have to shower every 2 to 3 hours. Personal interaction system, pushing buttons with your hand, not in the game yet. We still have elevator buttons that are like 5 meters away from us and we can still press them with no problem. Planet terrain texturing, kinda half a point because there's some improvement. Player animations, no, 0 points. I couldn't find any new player animations. Player traversal updates, vaulting, climbing, sliding, ladders, etc. Kinda half a point, again very generous. Player movement in Star Citizen is still very limited. A 1.25 meter tall box is still an insurmountable obstacle unless a dev flagged the spot as climbable. And if a dev flagged the spot as climbable, even 2 meters in full armor, backpack and 2 weapons on your back is not a problem. And we don't have sliding yet, which I don't miss. Sliding looks silly. Quantum boosting, not in the game. Radiation and gameplay like healing of radiation damage, not in the game. Raids, not in the game. Ray traced global lighting, kinda, some improvements, half a point. Reloading from backpack, yes, full point. Replication layer split, yes, full point. Reputation system overhaul, not in the game. Which would be very important for Pyro. Chris, we need this ASAP. Resource management including engineering gameplay, not in the game. Ship to Habitat functions, not in the game. Ship remote control, not in the game. Starclove, kinda, half a point, because there's still a lot of work to do. Starhair, yes, 1 full point. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for a game. Static server meshing, yes, right now on 4.0 tech preview. Visor lens system, kinda, half a point. Vulcan, yes, full point. Water effect, ripples, spaceship flying over water, yes, full point. Weapon scope improvements, kinda half a point, because there's still a lot of work to do. The scopes still don't look right. Chris, please look at games like Escape from Tarkov or Stalker 2. Weaponware, no, not in the game yet, and I'm happy about this because weaponware in games is usually way overdone. Weaponware wouldn't play any role in a game for the few shots we are actually firing. Overall, and I'm very generous, 27.5 of 65 points, 42%. Is this good enough for Chris on stage, Citizencon 2023? We hit an inflection point on a lot of the features. They're either finished or in polishing state. Everything we showed you at Citizencon 2023, it's our intention to get them into Star Citizen in the next year, 2024. If you ask me, no, that's not good enough. And again, some of those points are more important than others, and many of the more important points are nowhere to be seen, for example, atmospheric flight model. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye, auf Wiedersehen. Okay, I have to check my screens, safe status and shield status. Flickr. Chris, put the flight ready button right where you are changing the screens. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.